only constant is change in college football, but over more than 150 years, there have been some things that you can count on. If you can run the football, you have a chance to win. And boy, do we have guys who can do that in this one. Welcome to Reynolds Razorback Stadium, home of the Arkansas Razorbacks. As we'll see the number 22 team in the country, the Georgia Bulldogs, taking on a fellow SEC opponent, the Arkansas Razorbacks. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up. The Razorbacks will get us started with the opening kickoff. It's Dozier. Finds his man. It's Hunter. And they pick up just a few on that completion. The Dogs racing to the line in a hurry-up. Second down, they'll go to the air. Trying to burn this defensive back. He's got it along the sideline. It'll be a first down from the 49-yard line.
And it's frustrating as a defense when you give up that first down and you give up that pass play. But here we go with this offense. They're right back on the ball. You got to flush that. You got to get lined up, and you got to communicate.
Wants to go up top on first down. Finds his tight end.
I'll tell you, I love the play call on first down here. You're just trying to find an easy completion, and the shortest throw on the field for the quarterback is finding your biggest target, and that's the tight end. Nice job.
Handoff from the gun. Got the first down and more. Bulldozes his way through. They get him stopped, but the big gain has him on the doorstep. Let's mark it at the 13.
And I tell you what, we can focus on the left side of the line of scrimmage because that's where the play starts. But you don't get big gains when you run out wide unless wide receivers, yes, wide receivers, commit to blocking, staying on their guys. Really good job on the outside by giving the running back space to make the big play.
They go to the Wildcat here, looking to take advantage of that extra blocker. Snap to the back. This time, stopped in the backfield, finding the sledding a little tougher than on that last run.
And that's why he is an All-American caliber player. He is just so physical and dominant against the run. He's able to shed blockers, use his athleticism, use his speed, get to the ball carrier and bring him down. Simply one of the best box defenders you're going to find in the entire country.
Looking for a man. It's Dozier. He's got the tight end. That throw and catch gets them down to the 6, and the defense is running out of answers.
These third downs are so critical in deciding the outcomes of football games, especially when you start to get closer to the end zone. You drill it, you practice it. This offense needs to be dialed in, needs to be in rhythm, and needs to execute on this third down.
Well, they'd love to pick up this conversion and go to work with a first and goal. This quarterback part of their running game. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Georgia!
Well, they wanted to turn the page after losing their last game, so how about you come out in this one? On the opening drive, you march the field 75 yards and put 6 on the board. You can't start a game better than that.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. On the move from inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. avoid the running back and leave it with him. Breaks into the open. Nice pickup on the ground there, and they'll move the sticks with the first down. To the days when they ran the option, Arkansas has always been built around the ground game.
Yeah, it makes Jerry Jones happy, huh? Noted Arkansas fan, always talking about the Hogs, his Hogs. And this team is always built on that physicality, built on that toughness.
Offense has it at the 28 on first down. Wants to throw on first down. Using his legs, keeping his eyes downfield. He's got it down the right side. There he goes. He's at the 10. And the catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown, Arkansas.
If I'm a play caller nowadays, man, I want more guys like this. Just versatility. You can see he can catch it out of the backfield like a wide receiver, or he can run it. Nice job catching the football with his hands, using his speed to do the rest and get into the end zone.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. He stuck the last drive in the end zone. They'll try to follow suit here. Dropping back, it's Dozier. Got a man, it's Hunter. He goes out of bounds right at the 37-yard line. A good, productive play there to get things going.
And as soon as the receiver caught the ball, you saw the quarterback start communicating to his teammates what the next play was going to be, because they're now changing the tempo and going fast.
Looking to throw on first down. Picked off. A rare misread and mistake from this quarterback. Didn't really get a chance to get started on that return, but he has set him up at the 41-yard line.
And that's such a great job of seeing the play, seeing it unfold, breaking on the football, making the interception, and you will absolutely never forget getting that first career INT, that big play, that big moment.
Going right to work up top. He's going to let one fly down the middle. Touchdown, Razorbacks! They went for it all, and it paid off with the score.
Well, you can't get momentum in a game any better than they just did. Defensively, you get the turnover. Right away, your offense jogs on the field. You take a shot deep, you hit it for a touchdown. They've got a lot of explosive playmakers on this offense, and you saw it right there.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. This feels like one of those games you might have to answer every score, already down 14-7. It's runs like that that can really help your field position as they're up at the 35. Georgia comes quickly to the line.
The offense has a little bit of success on the ground, and they're up. Look at them. They're ready to go again, back on the line of scrimmage, ready to run another play.
How about the zip this junior put on that ball to pick up the first down?
When offenses get first downs like this, and they move the sticks, and they get some momentum, look at what they...
Turning it on! And explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down.
Defensively, you'll take the slow death. You'll take 3, 4, 5 yards a pop, but you can't give up the massive plays. You got to do a better job containing the football, making him run to guys, and get him on the ground, for goodness sakes. This guy is fast, I know, but defensively, we got to swarm to the football and get him on the ground.
Looking to throw, it's Dozier. Throws to the wideout. Working that left side. Run out of bounds after the long game, but they've got it now, first and goal. New set of downs right on the doorstep for this offense. With the run on first and goal. And he takes it in for a score. Touchdown, Dogs!
And that is a huge touchdown for the offense and also a big momentum shifter in this game, because now if they kick the extra point, they tie this game, anything could happen.
They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Bit backed up to start this drive from their own 18-yard line. Making side adjustments here. They're going to open this drive with a pass. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And you must do that against a guy of this caliber. This kind of QB will absolutely pick you apart. You got to get hurries. You got to get pressures. And when you can get hits and make him feel the physicality of the game, maybe you can take that guy and knock him down a few notches.
They'll go to the ground. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
And that's exactly what you want to do as a defense, man. You want to get penetration and not let that tank get downhill. Because when he gets downhill at that weight and that size, it could be a problem for your defense. Get him before he gets started.
You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up. And the Razorbacks decide to punt it away. The punter going to get his first work of the afternoon. Makes the catch at the 45. Really good job by the coverage team to make the stop, and that's where they'll put it in play. We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. They evened things up the last time they had him. The defense helped them out and a chance to go on top with this drive. Hauls it in. Chopping up this defense, and they've got it all the way down to the 23.
Well, there's no mystery who they're throwing the football to, but defenses still can't find a way to cover this guy. With that last catch, he now has over 1,500 receiving yards on the season.
And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down, 2nd down coming.
I don't even know if the offense is aware that they have other eligible targets downfield. It feels like every single throw early in this game has gone this guy's way.
Scanning the field, it's Dozier. And that's going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. 3rd down coming.
Well, they were trying to sneak him out of the backfield that time into the passing game, but that did not fool anybody on defense. What a hit, forcing that incompletion.
3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. This time he's got his man. All down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down. This Georgia offense moving quickly down the field. There to make the tackle, and that's how we'll wrap up this first period. We're through one, and what a back-and-forth battle between these two quarterbacks as we look at the stats. We've got a good one going here, and looking forward to keep those vibes rolling here in the second. So 2nd down here as we're back at it after the break. The give on the option. Lowers that shoulder, delivers the blow. Touchdown, Bulldogs! How about this back staying on track and getting it in on the option?
This defense is going to have to do a better job being physical. That's 2 rushing touchdowns they've now allowed. They have got to be better close to the line of scrimmage.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Here he comes from midway in the end zone. That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. The Hogs send that offense back onto the field. They really didn't move the ball at all the last time they had it, hoping for better fortune this time around. Creates a little space.
Well, they try to go quarterback design run on that play, but the defense just not buying it. Nice job, everybody playing downhill and making a tackle close to the line of scrimmage.
Backed up now, here's 2nd and long. Motion from the wide receiver. Back to pass on 2nd down. Zings it complete to the right. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. The Razorbacks are at the line trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. The offense changing the play. They're going to go to the air on 3rd and short. Caught over the middle. It's Sampson. Really needed a play like that to get out of their own end. They move the chains. They mark it at the 29. And the Razorbacks will snap it on 1st and 10. To the air on 1st down. Got it in the middle. It's Sampson. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short game there. That last completion sets him up on 2nd down. Looking to fire. He's got him in the flat. Finds a little bit of room and finally wrestled out of bounds at the 43. The Razorbacks will hustle to the line. Looking to throw on 1st down. Hit hard as he released the ball on that 1st down pass, and it never had a chance.
Well, if this offense is going to win this game, and down the road, if they're going to reach the college football playoff and hope to win a national championship, they have got to keep this quarterback clean. Couldn't do it on that last play.
On 2nd and 10, a full wideout set, trips right. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. Nothing to do with the football, and he just throws it away. It'll be 3rd down.
Good decision by the QB. You're outside the pocket. You're trying to find an open target. No one's open. Throw it away and live to play another day.
Some 3rd down conversions tougher than others. This one, a long one on 3rd down from the 43. Might be changing the route. He wants to throw it again. He slings it deep to the left. He's got it. There he goes. Touchdown, Arkansas. And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
And you can tell he trusts his big tight end. Airing the football way down the field. Treat him like a wide receiver because you know he's going to go up, make the big play, get you in the end zone, score a touchdown.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. These two defenses have had their heads spinning here in the first half, and now we might even see a little more scoring with this drive.
It's going back and forth. This is like two heavyweights just trading blows, David. What does this defense got to do to get a stop here?
I tell you what, man, when you're giving up points like this and you've got no momentum, you got to find somebody that can make a play to create something. And listen, if they're scoring anyways, let's be aggressive. Let's blitz more. Let's make sure we're making them feel discomfort in some way, shape, or form.
So after the flag, a fresh set of downs for the offense. It's 1st and 10. To the air, it's Dozier. Working that left side now. At the 35, he's open. He goes out of bounds across the 25, mark it at the 24 in this defense. Its head is spinning. They built this offense around finding mismatches and just get the ball to the back and let him do his thing.
Yeah, it didn't have to be long down the field. Like it threw it right near the line of scrimmage, but you know I got a guy, when he gets in space, he can make big plays happen. Nice decision by the QB.
Runs through the tackle. Didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard. Man, oh man, the ball carrier was just shut down.
And I tell you what, they need some push up front too, right? They got to move those defensive line.
Throws toward the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, Georgia.
Well, one of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was, we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. We're taking shots. We need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. And David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not, so being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. Looks as if he's going to run it. After trying the running game, let's see if they do it again on 2nd down. Back to pass. Unloads to the wideout. Got him downfield. Across the 50 and down and out of bounds at the 44. A good pickup on that one.
Well, this offense has come out slinging the bill. They are throwing it. They are trying to be aggressive. We're only in the 2nd quarter, guys. Already, this guy has over 200 yards passing.
Now a 1st down from the 45-yard line. Quarterback may change this route. Looking downfield on 1st down. They're working that left side. Open space at the 25. Guided out of bounds at the 22. A good play for this offense as they are threatening to score. And the Razorbacks will have it 1st and 10. On the move. Getting work done on the ground. He's pulled down at the 14-yard line. Whistle blows, and this is the 2-minute timeout, and these guys have a chance to take the lead before halftime. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Sends it back in motion. 2nd down, he'll throw it. Fires to the tight end. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion.
Well, they got the completion there, and it didn't go very far, but the big fella with a nice catch.
The Razorbacks started this drive backed up in their own end, and now they've moved into position to score. They go to the ground. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
I think one of the keys to this defense's success all season has been how good they've been stopping the run. They are a top 10 unit when it comes to rushing defense, and it's helped them out this year down in the red zone.
Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Wants to go up top. Pressure coming. And they get to him, and down goes the quarterback, and you just cannot afford that in this spot.
You know, we're only in the first half of this football game, and already this offense has had tons of success throwing the football. The defense has to disrupt his rhythm, and they finally do there, getting the sack. They've given up 3 TD passes. Let's see if they can continue with the pass rush moving forward.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. Unleashes to the end zone. Pass is broken up, incomplete as they were trying to strike for 6.
They've done a nice job marching the football down the field to get into this position in the red zone. You throw an incomplete on 3rd down, so the question now, are you going for a touchdown, try to pay this drive off, or are you just going to take the points?
And the kicker delivers the 3 to salvage that drive. The lead now trimmed to 28-24. So they're lining up to kick it off after that last drive. Put a 3 spot on the board, and now the defense will try to shut them down. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Dropping back, it's Dozier. Fires left. Makes a connection. How about this senior picking up some yardage and making a nice play on that one? And the Dogs come to the line in the hurry-up. Corners showing press. They want to be physical here. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Finds his big tight end. They get him down at the 36. It will be a 1st down. No huddle offense to the line. Wants to throw on 1st down. Unloads it left. He's got it. He was smelling that end zone, but they get him down at the 4 after the big pass play. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. They've really got this offense humming. Just the 4th play of the drive, and it's 1st and goal. He'll take it himself. He works his way all the way down to the 3, and the defense is reeling. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. And they want this defense spread out across the width of the field, 5 wide on 2nd and goal. Looking to fire. Looking to get it in. Touchdown, Dogs! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
And they trust their QB to execute like they have the whole first half, and he delivers, and they build on this lead and build their momentum going into halftime.
And the extra point is good. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And he's not going to take a knee. Here he comes. That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. Inside 30 seconds to play in the half. We'll see how aggressive they are on this drive. Starts the drive trying to go up top. Looking to the big tight end. Just missed his man, gave him just a little too much.
And we talk to teams week after week and quarterbacks and coaches, and what do they always say, man? Quarterback's best friend is a tight end. Well, that play right there, he wasn't his best friend. You don't see a lot of drops from him, but, man, he had an opportunity to catch that one.
Rushes on him, and down he goes back at the 3. Referee signals timeout. It's the defense wanting to make sure that they have everything just right with a big play coming. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Might be calling a hot route. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. On the run, deep down the right side. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see which way that's going to go. And so a huge gain is negated by an illegal forward pass. And the Razorbacks will line up to punt it away. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. I'm not sure if he could have kicked it farther by using his knee, but it's not exactly the longest punt. He'll be brought down, and that's the final play of the half. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. Ready to get things going here in the second half as Georgia about to kick it away. He'll bring it back from inside his spot. And the returner will be brought down. And Arkansas ready to send out this offense. They got a lot done through the air in the first half, and they might need even more production here in the second.
I think they will, Reese, and I think this is an offense that has proven they're playing with good timing right now. They've got...
Going to take a shot at this DB. And they can't make the connection, going for a big play on 1st down.
This offense is done being patient. They're down on the scoreboard here. Now, early in their first possession in the 3rd quarter, they're being aggressive. They're taking shots. They're trusting their playmakers outside to get it done. That time, the defense, really nice job forcing the incompletion. They were ready for it. This offense, though, they need to stay aggressive.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. He might want another play. Right back to the air on 2nd and 10. And he fires a dirt ball. Man, oh man, would he like to have that pass back.
Well, you can see the frustration on this guy's face. He's one of the best receivers in college football, and they knew coming into this game that he had to get touches, but you can't say enough about how good this defense has been defending him. They've always had an answer, whether it's single coverage, double coverage, man or zone. They have not let him go off, and that's a big reason why they're winning this game.
Man, I love on 3rd down when I know I have a running back that can beat guys. Whether you want to cover me with a linebacker or a safety, I can run an angle route, and I can have success because my quarterback knows exactly when he's going to break, and that defense is not going to beat my running back.
Going to look downfield again. Bring in the heat. Hit hard just as he released it on 1st down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
This QB has had a lot of success all day long, throwing for so many touchdowns, looking very comfortable. Finally, the defense gets to him. Finally, the defense gets a win. They needed something to go their way. Got to start getting some more hits on this guy.
Wants to fire on 2nd down. Here's the pressure. And that pass will be jarred loose on 2nd down. That brings up 3rd down.
Well, it's a great job by the back end of the defense that time, making up for what the front end of the defense couldn't do. The quarterback had all day to throw that ball, but it was the hit in coverage that forces the incompletion.
Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. Showing the arm strength to the left. Picked off. That's number 15 on the year.
And And it's frustrating because you go into half and the coaches tell you what they want to accomplish. Listen, we've seen this the whole first half. This is what they're doing. Not a good job coming out. First drive, trying to get... momentum created, turn it over to the other team, give them a good field position now too. Not the ideal start.
We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. They'll leave it with him. He's in open space downfield. Oh, he's getting ahead of steam. Past the 30. The 10. Touchdown Bulldogs. Once he got a step, it was all over right to the house. They've extended the lead and taken control here in Week 9.
And this offense picks up right where it left off. Scoring points, creating a big play. First drive of the second half, no problem. Don't worry about halftime adjustments. Just keep doing what you've been doing.
Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown. He'll start the return inside his 5. Good job by the coverage unit to stop the return man. The Hogs send that offense back onto the field. That last drive ended with an interception, and this time it's paramount they take care of the ball. Here comes the heat. Takes a hit as he fires. And that will be incomplete. Man, that would have been a big hitter if they could have done it, but second down coming. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Motion from the wideout. To the air on second down. He rifles one deep to the left. Makes a grab deep. And they finally get him down, but not before. He's got him set up for business at the 49-yard line. Looking to throw on first down. Moving away from pressure. He'll take another shot here. Intercepted.
And he makes a play in the back end. Nice job reading the pass, and that's his second of the season. This guy, unbelievable job seeing the quarterback, breaking on the quarterback, and going and getting that big play.
And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt.
Oh, he's got some space. The 50, the 40, past the 20. Touchdown, Georgia! And the stomping has commenced.
I mean, let's go. That's a day's worth of yards right there on one carry. The home run hitter takes the snap, gets the football. He does the rest, shows off the speed, taking it 90-plus yards to the house.
On the run from inside his own 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. And Arkansas ready to send out this offense. That last drive was promising for a while, but you just can't mess it up at the end with the pick, Jesse.
No, you've got to be able to finish drives, especially in this game. If you're going to win, and David, they've got to be able to eliminate the mental mistakes.
Yeah, and I don't think you get conservative or play it safe. You can trust your guy. I think you put the ball right back in his hands and let him do his thing.
That may not look like a huge run, but they'll take it as it gets him up to the 24.
Man, that quarterback can go. Just another guy in another system all across college football. All quarterbacks nowadays, they got so much speed, it's ridiculous.
Man, I'm telling you, going for the big play. Intercepted, and that total goes to 16. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense to get the football. Out comes the offense as they get set to take over. To the ground with the back. Pretty good effort on that one to work his way up to the 42.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
The Bulldogs can really attack on this second and short. Right back to it. This time he doesn't get loose, and finally the defense gets him bottled up behind the line.
And, man, it's nice to have a guy that is just better than your guys. And no matter what play you call, man, how about him getting in the backfield quick, penetrating, using his quickness, and using his strength to get him to the ground? That is a baller.
Wants to throw. It's Dozier. And the incomplete pass will bring up fourth down.
Third and short like that on your own side of the field. You're just looking for a quick hitter. You're trying to get the ball out of your hand quickly, but the timing completely off there for the offense, and the ball falls in.
First one of the day is on its way, and he's been sort of scarce around here. Only called on one time in that loss last week. The Hogs send that offense back onto the field. This thing has sort of gotten away the last couple of possessions. They've been a little too generous, David.
Yeah, like a non-profit, man, like a charity, giving the football away too much. Got to take care of the football, Jesse. Otherwise, you got no shot to win this football game.
You're right, man. At this level of college football, it doesn't matter how talented you are. It doesn't matter who you're playing. If you're sloppy, you put the football on the ground or you throw picks, you're going to find yourself behind on the scoreboard.
He wants to change this route. Going to sling it on second down. Oh, he's ready to take a shot. Makes the grab down the left side. And he picks up a huge chunk of yards on that play before he's finally hauled down. A run for the quarterback. Got enough for the first down. It's a fumble. And just like they drew it up, right? Put it on the ground, get the first down. And wait just a second. The official's going to take a second look at this one. So the officials take a closer look, and the replay booth will overturn the call. The Razorbacks will snap it on 1st and 10. To the air on first down. Under fire. He's dragged down at the 12 as they try to cash in on this red zone opportunity.
Well, it's no wonder this quarterback is getting more and more confident. Not necessarily throwing it, but I think running it. You saw that earlier in this drive, too. On that last play, he's thinking to himself, man, it's been working for me so far. Every time I just tuck it, take off scrambling, something good seems to happen. So that's not going to stop. And I think moving forward, this defense has got to expect him to scramble more often.
Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. They'll try to get outside. Absolutely nowhere to go as this defense makes a third down stop.
And, yeah, that's kind of surprising. And we talked about this before the game. One of the big matchups. Run the football against a defense that's been susceptible against the run throughout the season. But this offense just can't find a way to get it going, and I'm surprised.
And he's forced out of bounds after a huge loss on the play. What a boneheaded moment.
He had nowhere to go with the football. You could tell, surveying the field, somebody's got to get open to go make a play. Man, throw it up, run it, do something. You can't take a sack on fourth down. You got to give somebody an opportunity to make a play for him.
Found that space and picked up 6 out to the 33. And the Bulldogs with a second and short to keep this drive moving. The give to the right. They finally get a hold of him, knocking him down behind the line of scrimmage. He had been running wild.
It's sometimes for the defense, it just takes one play, right, to create some momentum. Obviously, this guy's been eating him up. He's got over 100 yards rushing on the day. But finally, David, they get something positive here in the run game defensively.
But you kind of know that coming in. He's going to get his. Such a great back, and he's had a great day. Need to put more plays together like that right there.
Big third down coming from their own 31. Defense tries to get off the field. They'll send the back in motion. Back to throw, it's Dozier. Intercepted, and the defense has set him up. Taking it the other way. Touchdown, Razorbacks! The defense takes matters into its own hands.
And they come up with a huge pick six, and that is one of the reasons this defense has been so dominant all season long. They don't give up big plays, but they take the football away. And once they do, they've got better athletes than you do. They're hard to bring down. They can flip the game on a dime.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Looking to throw on first down. Gonna let it fly. And they couldn't connect on the deep shot. Let's see if things get worse. There's a flag on the field. Which way is this going to go? Holding on the offense, accepted, so they'll back up and go at it again. Plenty of time for one more snap before the end of the quarter. From the gun. That's caught. It's Hunter. And talk about spreading the ball around. Everyone getting a chance to show off the hands based on the number of targets we've seen. As we start the fourth quarter, it'll take a pretty sizable comeback to win this one. It'll be second down as we open the final stanza. Back to pass. Under fire. Blasted as he lets it go.
You want to make a guy that's elite, that's one of the best in the business, start to become more and more human. Keep getting hits on. Nice job by the defense, getting in his face, being physical. Make him feel your presence. Don't let him get comfortable back there in that pocket.
Here's a heat. Another incompletion on third down.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They had been trying all game long different ways to affect him. Weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy, and that's why the ball falls in.
Georgia lining up to punt it away. He was hoping for a little more running room, but they're able to get him down at the 45. And Arkansas ready to send out this offense. There have been a couple of missed opportunities for these offenses in the last couple of drives, Jesse.
And I think for this offense here, it'd be nice to hit an explosive play, be aggressive, and really pay off your defense's effort that last drive.
And instead of having to move the ball down the field consistently and then getting stopped on fourth downs, you're right. Create some of those explosives. Take those deep shots. Make those big plays.
The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Wants to adjust the pattern. Let's go! Let's go! He's looking to throw. And that corner came in hot despite knowing that he was giving up some size. Working well behind the sticks on second down. Wants to go up top. Oh, they're after him. And the quarterback will take a sack back at the 36.
And when I got a stud quarterback like they do, I'm going to protect him. I'm going to make sure that I keep him upright because he can do some serious damage. But this defense applying pressure and applying the hammer in this football game.
On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down.
At this point of the game in the 4th quarter, it is going to be tough for this offense to get some completions here because now, trailing by this much, the defense is expecting pass, and they're putting a whole bunch of extra DBs on the field to help them out in coverage.
On 4th down, they're taking to the air. Lets it fly. Makes the grab, got the conversion, and still going. And they are finding some space in this defense. He's got it down to the 25. And the Razorbacks have it with a 1st and 10. Gets the back moving. Looking downfield on 1st down. Fires deep toward the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Arkansas.
And it's so underrated, the relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're throwing into the end zone because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now in game.
This Bulldog offense. They didn't get much done the last time they had it. Had to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. Tackle is made at the 28 after a pickup of 3. Georgia going up tempo.
Well, the offense has the lead, and we call this 4-minute offense. This is a situation that teams around the country practice, having the lead late in the game and needing to ice it by running the football and throwing high-percentage passes.
Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise. Backing this defense on 3rd down. Pulls it in. It's Hunter. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a 1st down at the 43.
Every single week, defenses know who's going to get the ball thrown to them, but they can't stop him. With that last catch, he now has over 1,000 yards receiving on the year.
To the air, it's Dozier. Now adjusting. Fires on the move. Finds a man on the right. Big play for this offense as they get it to the 32.
This is so interesting right now watching this offense stay aggressive. They've got the lead in the 4th quarter, and you're thinking at home, we got to just run the ball and try to bleed the clock. They found something on defense they're taking advantage of. 2 straight completions. I won't be surprised if they throw it again.
And I know you can play these late-game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position, you're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
And not much going on downfield. You just get rid of it and live to play another down.
And how loud is it in this building? This is crazy. These fans are going absolutely nuts. And I used to love when the fans got involved, and I'm on defense because it messes with the snap count, it messes with the communication, and it can really rattle an offense.
They already have a comfortable lead up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Makes the grab past the marker. And they finally get him to the ground. An easy conversion for this offense. Defense not exactly the perfect 4th down call there. Now down to the 12-yard line. It's 1st down. The defense. They'll wrestle him down at the 4-yard line after that run.
And that's really nice offensively because you're in the red zone. You do have an opportunity to add to your lead here, but you're staying in bounds. I think the clock right now is the most important thing. How can we keep this thing ticking away? By going down in bounds, you're doing exactly that.
And you can tell the QB wants to run. He's going to be a big part of the game plan, and the defense really, really understands that. I got to understand, and more importantly, when I get a lick on this cat, I got to take it. Like, not dirty, not cheap shots, but end-of-league plays when I can be physical and really make him feel me. I think that'll always bode well in a fourth-quarter game.
Boy, they love to move the sticks here and take a shot at it on 1st and goal. He'll keep it on the sneak. They make the tackle just outside the end zone, but it'll be 1st and goal from the 1.
And, David, on 3rd and inches right there, that's often a decision the quarterback predetermines. Who's my best guard? That's the guy I'm going to try to get behind.
And I know that defensively, too, but I'm just trying to dive and create a pile, but it's so hard to...
Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Dogs! They're now in really good shape to get back into the win column as they extend the lead here late. That one might have put the finishing touches on this game.
This one is over. Game, set, match. The defense had a chance to maybe kind of keep their team in it, but the offense said, take it to the locker room.
He's going to take a chance from midway in his end zone. He's brought down at the 16. Would have been much better off to take the touchback. A lot of work to do as this drive will start from the 16-yard line. He'll start this drive going to the air. Forced out of the pocket. And he just chucks it into the 4th row.
And it's going to be difficult for this offense, man. Just where are they going to find the plays? You can tell the defense sitting back. They're playing nickel. They're playing dime. So you need some receivers to step up, make some yards after the catch, some contested plays. This offense has got to do something, and they got to do it quick.
And the incomplete pass taking a shot on 2nd down, and they'll be left with a 3rd down. Trying to pick up a 1st down. Quarterback making checks. On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. And it's picked off for the 3rd time today. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
Well, man, we've seen explosive offensive firepower all game long, and here we are late in an obvious passing situation trying to get this thing close. The big INT, finally the defense makes a play, and David, it looks like they've just closed the door on this one.
Well, and you know, Mr. Quarterback, defense wins championships. And how do you seal a game? The defense coming up with a big moment. Yes, obvious passing situation. You know they're going to throw it. The big INT, and that might seal their fate.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. After getting nothing, it's 2nd and goal from the 6. He bullies his way all the way down to the 5-yard line.
Well, he's had the hot hand, 3 TDs in the game already. I like just force-feeding this guy the Rocks and Warrior pod.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They've been the more physical team. He does a really good job finding the end zone, running the football. That's why they featured him today.
The defense trying to make a stand on 3rd and goal. They're still firing away even with this lead. And that's how you finish it off. Scoring on the final play of the game doesn't affect the outcome. Just a little cherry on top of the sundae.
And they just keep piling on the points. We've seen in big moments in this game, they have been able to step up and deliver, particularly on offense. Very impressive performance.